Dear children, social science, geography, Unit 1, India location, relief and drainage. Take your book, page number 137. Open and keep your book with you always. In the previous class, we have seen about the location and some of the reliefs. Today we are going to see from the Western Ghats and drainage system of India. Ghats. What is the Tamil meaning of Ghat? Malai Todar. The Western Ghats meaning is Merku Todarchi Malai. See the picture. The area which is covered by green in color, that is Western Ghats. It starts from Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. This is in the west part of the country. This is one of the continuous ranges. There are some hills also there in the Ghats. We are going to see about the Western Ghats detailing. Western Ghats forms the western edge of the peninsular plateau. Edge means Vilimbu. It runs parallel to the Arabian Sea coast. The northern part of this range is called as Sahyadris. So in the Western Ghats, it is there in between peninsular plateau and the Arabian Sea. So the Western Ghats has some important hills. There are three important hills are there in the Western Ghats. They are Anaimalai range, the Cardamom hills and the Palani hills. These three are the important hills are there in the Western Ghats. What are they? Anaimalai range, Cardamom hills, the Palani hills. So these three hills, they meet at a point which is called tri-junction. Junction means Sandipu. Three. So these three hills, they meet a place which is called tri-junction. That is Anaimudi. And the same Ghats, the Palani hills, Kodaikanal. How many of you like Kodaikanal? Have you seen Kodaikanal? How many of you have gone to Kodaikanal? Many of you. So, this is one of the beautiful tourist place. It is there on the Palani hills. Okay. Kodaikanal is a beautiful hill resort situated on the Palani hills. So, we know Kodaikanal is there, but where is it? We should know that. Yes or no? Kodaikanal is there in the Palani hills. Next one, the Eastern Ghats. The Eastern Ghats run from the southwest to northeast form the eastern edge of this plateau. This is one of the discontinuous range. Western Ghats, one of the continuous range. At the same time, the Eastern Ghats is not continuous. It is the discontinuous ranges. So, this Eastern Ghats also called as Purvadri. About Eastern Ghats, it ran from southwest to northeast to form the eastern edge of this plateau. This range is also called as Purvadri. The Eastern Ghats join Western Ghats and the Nilgiri Hills bordering Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Eastern Ghats are not continuous like the Western Ghats because Western Ghats are continuous. But this is not like Western Ghats, it is not continuous. And these Eastern Ghats are also called as Purvadri. And the next one is the coastal plains. Coastal plains. Plains means Samaveli. Coastal means Kadarkarai. Kadarkarai Samaveli. The coastal plains were formed by the depositional action of the rivers and the erosional and depositional action of the sea waves. What is the coastal plains? Coastal plains were formed. How it is formed? The coastal plains were formed by the depositional action of the rivers and the erosional and depositional action of the sea waves. The coastal plains, there are two divisions. One is the western coastal plains and the eastern coastal plains. Like two divisions are there in the coastal plains. One more time. What are the two divisions of the coastal plains? The western coastal plains and the eastern coastal plains. How the coastal plain formed? Yes, it is formed by the rivers and the waves of the sea. Example, you take little river water and store. Only one day keep the water in the same place, in the same thing. The next day if you go and see, remove the water from the things, the finally you can get some deposited. Yes or no? The sand deposited will be there. So, like that, rivers and waves also bring some sediments, bring some sands, everything from the mountains, from the sea. It is stored in a particular area. Yes or no? So, finally we can get the plain areas. So, like that, coastal plains also formed by the rivers, waves and the sea waves because they bring some sands. They deposit and what will make? It will make the plain areas by the sands. So, the two divisions are given. About the western coastal plains we are going to see. The western coastal plains, it lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, which extends from Rann of Kutch in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. So, the western coastal plain starts from the Rann of Kutch to the Kanyakumari. These are all the areas covered by the seas. Yes or no? Arabian Sea. So, when you see the picture, you can understand that plateau is there in the left side. You have to see the left side. Plateau is there. Then Ghats is there. And next what is there? Plain is there, okay, which is covered by red in color and violet color. They are the plain areas. Then Arabian Sea is there, okay, 4. Arabian Sea, plains, Ghats, and what is there? Plateau. Plateau is there, okay. So, this western coastal plains is divided into 3 parts. The northern part, the middle part and the southern part. The southern part of the west coastal plain is known as Konkan plain, which is colored in red in color. The middle part of this plain is known as Kanara. And the southern part of the plain is known as Malabar coast. So there are three parts of there in the western coastal plain. What are they? Konkan plain, Kanara plain and the Malabar coast. Along the coast there are numerous shallow lagoons. Lagoon means uppu thannir. And backwaters called Kayals and Terrace. It's a famous backwater lake found in this region. So about the western coastal plain, what you have understood? There are three parts: Konkan plain, Kanara and the Malabar coast. And it extends from Rann of Kutch to the Kanyakumari. And the next coastal plain is the eastern coastal plain. It lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It is between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. You see the picture? The area which is covered by blue in color, brown and the green color. They are the eastern coastal plains. It is not there in the same color, it is different. See there, it starts from Tamil Nadu because of the Bay of Bengal. And the next, Odisha is there, then Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal. These are the areas covered by the eastern coastal plains. The coastal plain between Mahanadi and Krishna is known as the Northern Circus, which is colored by brown color. Those area is called the Northern Sarkar, which is there in between Mahanadi and Krishna river. And the southern part, it is lies between Krishna and Kaveri river, which is called Coromandel coast. So these two coastal plains are there in the eastern coastal plain. What are they? The Coromandel coast and the Northern Sarkar. They are the important. Among the backwater lakes of this coast, Lake Chilka is the largest lake in India, located to the southwest of the Mahanadi Delta. The Kolliri Lake, which lies between the deltas of Godavari and Krishna, and the Pulicat Lake lies in the border of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. These three are the important lakes are there in the eastern coastal plains. Okay, Chilka Lake, Kolliri Lake and Pulicat Lake. The Chilka Lake is the largest lake in India, that is the biggest lake in India. And the Kolliri Lake, it is lies between the deltas of Godavari and Krishna, and Pulicat Lake lies between Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu borders. So, coastal plains, there are two divisions are there in the coastal plains: western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. And the next one is highland. What is the meaning of island? Deep. Our India is one of the peninsular, Deepakarpam, because our India covered by water on three sides and land on side. But the island is covered all the sides water. The area which is covered water by all the sides, this is called island. Island. See there? The picture is given. The land area surrounded by water on all the sides. You see there? No land area is there. Only one land area is there. That area also covered by water fully. An island is a body of land surrounded by water. Our continents are also surrounded by water, but because they are so big, a small land which is covered by the water on all the sides, that is called island. Already we have seen in the previous lessons Some areas also covered by rivers, all the sides rivers. Those areas also called islands. In our Tamil Nadu also some islands, island areas also. Okay, in India, some islands are there we are going to see. Islands in India. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Islands, Offshore Island. These three are the islands in India. What are the islands are in India? Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Island, Offshore Island. The first, Andaman and Nicobar Island. So, in India, the major islands are Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep. These two are the major island groups in India. And 572 islands, these islands are located in the Bay of Bengal, and 27 islands are located in Arabian Sea. How many islands are located in the Bay of Bengal? 572 islands are located in the Bay of Bengal, and 27 islands are located in the Arabian Sea. So, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. These islands are located in an elevated portion of the submarine mountains. Since these islands lie close to the equator, the climate remains hot and wet throughout the year and has dense forest. So, Andaman and Nicobar Island, it is very close to the equator. So, the climatic condition will be hot and wet fully throughout the year. The area of the island group is 8,249 square kilometer. It is divided into two, Andaman and Nicobar. Andaman is the north and Nicobar is the south. So, book page number 139, see the map. On the right side, Bay of Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are there. So, the north area is called Andaman Islands and the southern area is called Nicobar Island. Port Blair is the administrative capital of the Andaman and Nicobar Island. Which is the administrative capital of the Andaman and Nicobar Island? Port Blair. And 10 degree only separates Andaman and Nicobar group. Only 10 degree gap is there. The southernmost tip, the Indra Point, is a part of Nicobar Island. So, Indra Point is there in the Nicobar Island, not in Andaman Island. Okay. So, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, there are two groups. North side is Andaman and the south side is Nicobar Islands. Only 10 degree only it separates Andaman and Nicobar. So, Indra Point, which is called the southernmost tip of India, it is in Nicobar Island. And the next one is Lakshadweep Island. This is a small group of coral islands and 8 degree only separated from the Maldives Island and the Lakshadweep Island. The uninhabited pit island of this group has a bird sanctuary and it was named as Lakshadweep in 1973. So, in 1973 only it is named as Lakshadweep Island. And the next one is offshore islands. Besides the two group of islands, India has a number of islands along the western coast, eastern coast, in the delta region of Ganga and in the Gulf of Mannar. Many of these islands are uninhabited and are administered by the adjacent states. So, these islands are there in the sea and some interior parts of the country. Some islands are there which the area covered by the water on all the sides. Those islands also administered by the adjacent states, and some islands are uninhabited. And the next one is drainage system of India or river system of India. We can say drainage system of India or river system of India. A drainage system is an integrated system of tributaries and their trunk stream which collects and plain surface water into the sea, lake or some other body of water. The total area drained by a river and its tributaries is known as a drainage basin. Okay, so drainage system is also called as river system. And rivers in India. There are two types of rivers in India. One is Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. First, Himalayan rivers. It is there in the northern side. These rivers are found in North India and originate from Himalayas. What are the rivers originate from Himalaya? Those rivers are called Himalayan rivers. See there? So they are called as Himalayan rivers. These all perennial rivers. Vatrada river. Perennial means what? Vatrave. Always water will be there in the rivers. What are the Himalayan rivers? Indus river, Ganga river and Brahmaputra river. These three rivers are Himalayan rivers. These all originate from Himalaya. And from the Himalaya rivers, first one, Indus river system. The Indus, that is the longest. You see there, it is marked in the red color, first left side. That is the Indus river system. Now many rivers are there, Ravi, Chanas, Sutlej, like many rivers are there, but Indus river also starts from the Himalayan mountain and it passes through the Pakistan and entered into India. Most of the area covered by Indus river in the Jammu and Kashmir. And the next river is Ganga river system. The dark blue in color, that is Ganga river system. So if you have any doubt, you can open the book, page number 139. See the map, right side, the Ganga river. It starts from Sundarban, passes through Ganga river. And Brahmaputra river system. This also starts from the Sundarban and passes through the Assam, Arunachal Pradesh that way. And the next one is peninsular rivers. The rivers in South India are called the peninsular rivers. Most of these rivers originate from the Western Ghats. These are seasonal rivers. The Himalayan rivers are perennial rivers. Always water will be there. But the peninsular rivers, only season time only water will be there. But other time no water will be there in the rivers. So this is called peninsular rivers. So the rivers in South India are called the peninsular rivers. Most of these rivers originate from the Western Ghats. You see there? Narmada, Dapti, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. This Kaveri originates from the eastern area. Is in the western parts, Narmada, Dapti and Kaveri, Godavari, Mahanadi. These three are in the eastern side. So, the Himalayan rivers are perennial. It originates from the Himalaya and it is there in the north part of the country. But the peninsular rivers, it is there in the southern side and it originates from the Western Ghats. These are only seasonal rivers. What are the peninsular rivers? Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada and Tapti. These 6 are peninsular rivers. So, Mahanadi. The river Mahanadi originates near Shikawa in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh and flows through Odisha. Page number 140. Book page number 140 about Mahanadi. These all are east flowing rivers. So, in peninsular rivers there are 2 types, east flowing rivers and west flowing rivers. What are the east flowing rivers? It is given in the book page number 140. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. West flowing rivers Narmada and Tapti. Mahanadi, the river Mahanadi originates near Shikawa in Raipur district of Chhattisgarh and flows through Odisha. The length of the Mahanadi is 851 km. The main stream of Mahanadi gets divided into several distributaries such as Paika, Biropa, Chittatala, Jenkuti and Nan. These all distributaries form the delta of Mahanadi, which is one of the largest deltas in India. Sundarban delta also is there in our India, and Mahanadi also is one of the largest delta in India. The Mahanadi empties its water in Bay of Bengal. So, what is the length of the Mahanadi? 851 km. Okay, and there are many distributaries forms the delta of Mahanadi. Mahanadi delta is one of the largest delta in India. And the next one is Godavari. It is the longest river. The area of Godavari is 3.13 lakh kilometer square. It is also called Vrida Ganga. Which is also called Vrida Ganga. Godavari is also called Vrida Ganga. It originates in Nasik district of Maharashtra, a portion of Western Ghats. It flows through the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh before joining Bay of Bengal. And some major tributaries are there given in the book. Purna, Benganga, Pranita, Indravati, Tall and Salami. These all are the major tributaries. Tributaries means Kilai Nadigal. You know that, yes? And the river near Rajahamundry gets divided into 2 channels called Vasistha and Gautami. They formed the longest deltas in India. The Kolliru, a freshwater lake, is located in the deltaic region of the Godavari. So already we have seen in the western coastal plain, there are some important lakes are there. Kolliru Lake. It is there. And the next one is Krishna. The river Krishna originates from a spring at a place called Mahabaleshwar in the western Ghats of Maharashtra. The length of the Krishna is 1400 km. The area of Krishna is 2.58 lakh square kilometer. Underline it. This is the second longest peninsular river, Bhima. Bedavagu, Musi, Koina and Tungabhadra are the major tributaries of this river. So what are the tributaries of the Krishna? Bhima, Bedavagu, Musi, Goina and Tungabhadra. It also flows through Andhra Pradesh and joins in Bay of Bengal at Kamashala Devi. And the last east flowing river is Kaveri. The river Kaveri originates at Talakaveri Kudagi hills of Karnataka. So this Kaveri originates from Karnataka. The length of the Kaveri is 800 km. And the river Kaveri is called Dakshin Ganga or Ganga of South. So which is called Ganga of South? Kaveri is known as Ganga of South. It originates from which state? Yes, Karnataka. In Karnataka, the river bifurcates twice, forming the sacred islands of Srirangapatnam and Sivasamudram. While entering Tamil Nadu, the Kaveri continues through a series of twisted wild gorges until it reaches Hokkainikal Falls and flows through a straight, narrow gorge near Salem. The Kaveri breaks at Srirangam Island with two channels, river Kolroon and Kaveri. Already I have told island, some land islands, some interior islands also there. Srirangam Island is one of the islands, Srirangam Island. Have you heard this word? Already we have seen Srirangam Island. Some islands are there. Upputani Island. Like that some islands we have seen in the physiographic of Tamil Nadu. Then west flowing rivers Narmada. This river rises in the Amarkandak plateau in Madhya Pradesh at elevation of about 1057 meter and flows for a distance of about 1312 km. It covers an area of 98,796 square km and forms 27 km. And some tributaries are there: Bagnar, Halan, Hiran, Panjar, Dudi, Shakkar, Tava, Barna and Kolar. And the last one is Dapti. It is one of the major rivers of peninsular India with the length of about 724 km. The length of the Dapti is 724 km. The area of Dapti is 65,145 square km. And some major tributaries also given in the book, page number 141. So these all are the rivers. What are west flowing rivers? What are east flowing rivers? West flowing rivers Narmada and Dapti. All the others are east flowing rivers. Maganadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. 4 are east flowing rivers. So from this lesson we have learned about the northern mountains, northern Great Plains, the plateau region, coastal plains and islands. So northern mountains are classified into 3 divisions as Trans-Himalayas, Himalayas and Eastern Himalayas. So then we have seen about the drainage system of India, river system of India, Himalayan river and what else? Peninsular. Yes or no? The Himalayan rivers are there in the north side and peninsular rivers are there in the south side. And what are the west flowing rivers and what are the east flowing rivers? And about islands, Andaman and Nicobar Island and Lakshadweep Island. So you have to prepare very well. Get the guide from school and study every day. The classwork is given in there. The first one, state the west flowing river of India. Narmada and Dapti are the west flowing rivers of India. State the west flowing rivers of India. There is a mistake you have to add as. State the west flowing rivers of India. Narmada and Dapti are the west flowing rivers of India. Write fast. Write a brief note on the island group of Lakshadweep. Write a brief note on the island group of Lakshadweep. Answer is, this is a small group of coral islands located off the west coast of India. It covers an area of 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti is its administrative capital. The uninhabited pit island of this group has a bird sanctuary. Write fast. Write neatly. Your handwriting should be very neat. Make sure that writing without mistake. Write fast. One more time. Write a brief note on the island group of Lakshadweep. This is a small group of coral islands located off the west coast of India. It covers an area of 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti is its administrative capital. The uninhabited pit island of this group has a bird sanctuary. You can mark this in the book and you can write later if you have no time. And today homework is fill in the blanks. Find the answers from the book. The Eastern Ghats is also called as dash. The Eastern Ghats is also called as dash. Dash is the largest lake in India. Dash is a famous backwater lake found in the western coastal plain. The northern part of the Western Ghats is called as dash. Dash lies between the deltas of Godavari and Krishna. Find the answers from the book. I give you 2 minutes. Write down. So almost 2 lessons completed in geography. So get the guide and study. Write fast. The Eastern Ghats is also called as dash. Dash is the largest lake in India. Dash is a famous backwater lake found in the western coastal plain. The northern part of the Western Ghats is called as dash. Dash lies between the deltas of Godavari and Krishna. Then map page number 139. India rivers and lakes. Map is there in page number 139. There I'll say you some maps. Places you have to mark. Those places only. Listen it very carefully. Only 10 rivers I'll say you. You have to mark. That is your homework. Map practice is very important. Every day you have to practice map. So take the book, page number 139, mark the rivers. Vaigai, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari, Mahanadi, Brahmaputra, Ganga, Indus, river Indus, river Narmada and Dapti. Vaigai, Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari, Mahanadi, Ganga, Indus, Narmada, Dapti and Brahmaputra. These rivers you have to mark in the map. That is your homework. So today homework, fill in the blanks and map page number 139, 10 rivers. Prepare well, write your homework today and send me. Finish your classwork and study well. So you have to complete 2 lessons. So when you get the time, you have to finish one by one.